Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This time it's Seton's time again, of course. I think this was not a random spawn. We also did choose factions, and let's have a look at the teams. We have H on rock. He's actually a pretty solid player, I think, and I think he also has a good understanding of what's going on, and he also is very well on eco. So I think if he plays a bit more and fine tunes his early builds a bit more, he has good potential to become a strong player. He already is good. So he's playing rock as UEF. Here on air sport, this is Brink. He also has a casting channel, and he's playing air. I know he has given up to play the competitive game and just plays average games. I don't know why. He could try. I think if he would try, he would actually succeed. But for some reason, he doesn't play with the big boys. Anyway, here on beach we have Furball. He is a regular with the big boys, and it's actually pretty good. Of course, as we all do, he sometimes makes mistakes, but overall I think he's a strong player. He's playing beach as Seraphim, and on front this is Ionic, and yeah, he is with Brink all the time, and he's also a good player, and I think he's also similar to Age that Age. If you would just put some more work into his builds and his game, and watch more replays and analyze stuff, why what happens and what is good and what is bad, I think he would actually also could become a very strong player. No, my stuff dies, not very good. Oh yeah, across from him it's me. We did balance the game in the lobby, so I was put together with the three 1400 players, and they, because my rating is kind of high, and they got a couple of 1600s and 1500s, so overall I think it was like over 90% balance. Here on beach, this is Aurant. He is a solid front player. Actually, his late game air I saw again lately wasn't bad either. His navy is not the strongest though, but he might try to learn, I'm not sure. Also to note, he never reads the chat, which is insane annoying. Here we have Dragon. This is the girlfriend from Aurant, and she's actually pretty good, a little better than her boyfriend, and she's I would almost call her competitive on the esport in terms of production and stuff. I think she's yeah, very good, and well, I don't know, I think her weakest spot is front, but she's also solid on the navy parts. Speaking of navy, this is Brian G, who definitely has the strongest spot on air, but he also I think he has a pretty solid semi-rush on navy, so I expect him to do good. And against Furball, I think they're a good couple. So let's check the action. Furball, as usual, tries to get the island. He always tries to grab it, and if he's successful, he usually mechanics, tactical missile launchers, Tech 2 shields, artillery and stuff like that on the island. It also looks like Iran tried to deny the island. I do not see a transport. I do not think there was one, so he just tried to deny and harass, which is also good. Actually, this is solid stuff by Iran here. He also, I think he scouted this engineer, and I'm not sure if the bomber will get there in time, but it could delay HZH here a bit if he killed that engineer. In terms of front reclaim, Ionic got 5.5k and I got 8k. Even though it seems Ionic took a little more from himself. Since I have a 100 power lead and slight mass lead, even though I don't know. So there is not a lot of happening up front, and I actually do not really I hope that I can get away cheap here, just a little turtle base and then do something else, but I know Ionic doesn't let you usually be T3 PD creeps. He likes to do that, and it's annoying, and then you can't get away cheap. So now here he tries to push. Luckily my commander is just finished in time and makes some PDs, and Ionic tries to this nice. And this is a pretty smart move. Ionic just has 500 power, but he doesn't get any power either. Not sure. We can afford this, but he gets a tactical missile launcher here. He gets some smaller boosts. This is probably the time when Brink is not overflowing a whole lot of power. Meanwhile, we see annoying drops. This is luckily he has one frig out. If he didn't have that frigged out, this could have killed the Tech 2 Navy out. So another drop incoming. This is already a lot of AA and Tech 1 artilleries. Meanwhile, I lose. I'm horribly power stalling with 740. No, not anymore. I lose actually quite a lot maxes here, more than I should have. But when I saw his com just finished Tech 2 and he was running around, I didn't expect it would come in time. So right now I'm pretty much behind in terms of economy. And I tell Orant that there is a Team Malcolm in water. But of course Orant does not read chat, so when you don't read chat, so now he sends a Tech 1 stuff. That was actually a good idea, but it's get countered by torp launcher. Orant finished first RAS, and instead of he has a Tech 2 commander, and instead of before going for the second RAS, he should have made 2 TMDs here to stop getting TM out, but he doesn't. Now he moves his commander, now he makes TMD, but he should put all engineers on support. No second, no a second. But he's already lost 5 maxes here. Yeah, this one was stopped, so yeah. And now actually Dragon is forcing Ionic out of the water. I'm in the middle of RAS. This is a unlucky timing because now I move and I plan a PD here, and so he cannot come out of the water. I have no units, of course, so I don't like units. Meanwhile, over here, there is really no excuse for Brian G not shooting at this Navy out. frigates must go to work and kill all the build power behind. I think he's gonna do that now. I think that's, he should target the navy yard with the shipyard into that direction. I think he could kill the destroyer being built. This looks like a successful navy rush here by Brian G. Brink of Insanity is ahead in score and behind in mass, at least from what it looks like. So he probably went for a lot of earlier. Dragon trying to mercy him. I don't know. I even don't know. I think he can stay there. Don't kill him. He has done his job. He did actually a pretty good job in TMLing a lot of my base and a lot of teammates over here. Of course, a lot of that would have been prevented. But Arand also had the build power, so he could rebuild pretty fast. He doesn't rebuild that one though. Brink now trying to help Furball and also Ionic helping Furball. So Furball actually getting a lot of help here. So he will keep his base. There has not been any damage to that base yet, so I think those hover tanks should retreat at the moment because you know there are so many destroyer and without Furball standing anything in, I think the hover tanks should retreat, and they do so now. So actually, so far pretty good game by Ionic here. Here's Tech 3 land. It's pretty good. I think he played very good. He did get 3k less front reclaim, but other than that, I think he's playing a pretty good game. Also very good attention here with that huge hover spam, or huge bet, yeah, but very solid hover spam here. I think, and it was in time. It was not like starting now. I think he knew when he had to help in advance, and that's what really makes a huge difference. Some people react when there's 5 destroyers here and 5 cruisers and killing the base, and they say, oh, now I need to help, but then it's too late to help. Also, I think Brink also paid good attention. The torps were actually, the help was at a perfect time, because if it was a little later, Fervor would have lost his base, and I think they did a pretty good job on that to prevent Fervor from losing here. This was good teamwork. Omni being upgraded. My com is getting Tech 3. Just one artillery here. Let's have an economy check. Actually, Brink, but he was probably power stalling earlier. No, is he power stalling again? I need to check. Yeah, he's power stalling. Because it looks like economy is pretty even. Slightly more power for Dragon. And Brink is power stalling. Brink needs a Tech 3 pigeon and he gets more. So that's good. In terms of ASF, he has 46 ASF here at 21 minutes, and Dragon has 55. That's not a huge lead, but still a very solid lead with those low numbers. 10 more or whatever is okay. I mean, Brink had made some torps, Dragon made some torps, so in that case, about even. Economy is about even. This was a slight power lead for Dragon, which results in more ASF. So now the hover tanks are going to go down. Brink of Insanity, raging at Furball, but he's doing nothing. And well, yeah, Furball getting Tech 3 on his commander, and well, I must admit, I don't like what I see when you know You have 2 destroyer against whatever potential 8 destroyer, cruiser, shield boat stuff. You don't want more Tech 3 maxes. You want a second navy yacht and every engineer you can get on that navy yacht. And because the ZX Remix needs so long to pay off, yeah, this is not what you should do when you get pressured. Other than that, Furball actually has quite a solid economy. It's pretty competitive with the one of Brian G. But of course Brian G has navy all over the place, and he goes for a huge hover spam. And actually hover spam is a good choice when you have no other. But in this case you should probably still spam some engineers and get that second navy yard up, because he is far away from out of the water, and I wouldn't spam navy in advance when I can still make navy. Meanwhile, the cruisers are going to work. Yeah, this is a bit tragic for Ionic, because he actually played a pretty good game. He helped his ally when it was needed. He TM'd my base, TM'd the beach base, and now he is not getting any reward for it. Furball stating that Brink is behind in air, and Brink says Navy is more important anyway. So it's not looking exactly good, but with Brian G what means wasting, but giving some time for Furball here. Furball should really use that time, and not use that time to spam mass fabs or spam more Tech 3 engineers. He needs to make up for Navy, and that's what he should do here, and he doesn't do it. I don't know why. Also, I do not know why those 10 destroyers do not kill everything. Now there is this hover spam going there, and now Brian removes his navy and goes for those spam. To kill this, he needs 10 frigates. He doesn't need his destroyers. His destroyers must kill his navy here. It's pretty much unprotected, and you do not want to remove your let your cruiser unprotected here. This is just this is a huge tactical mistake that's happening here, and Furball actually kind of provoked it or induced it with his movement here. It's hilarious. Ionic saying something about my connection. Just something he wishes, because my connection's always fine. Actually never get any disconnects or something. Never lag in 3000 games. And now my Brink has lost air. I didn't know what we were fighting for. Anyway, 100 ASF left, so quite a huge lead on air now. And he must make SAMs, and he does so. Good reaction time here. Meanwhile, HZH has by far the biggest economy in this game. It's 450 mass income, and of course this is 3 battle cruisers versus 7 destroyer. This is will be an overwhelming loss here. I tell him that he doesn't need 50 ships to kill those arties. I told him to remove his navy to my battle cruiser. No, there is an SACU with Rambo upgrades, so this one has a shield and both rapid fire, splash of damage, area of effect and damage, so this is quite a powerful unit. Now Dragon goes to snipe Ionic and is successful. And now Brink crits. And he thinks that is fine because he will give the base to someone else. I think this is not fine. I don't complain about it because people can do whatever they want, but this game doesn't look good. But other than the game where I left, where Brink complained about it, this guy just left his team hanging. I mean, they have an air lead. They're going to the top side has an air lead. I mean, so those guys are a problem, and the other navy here is a problem. However, they are like totally dominating the top CH. The DH actually doing a pretty good job here, and he was right in time. I have a battle cruiser halfway done, and he pushed at exactly the right time to prevent me from getting Tech 3 Navy in that ocean too. And so given all that, this is a quid where I would understand if someone would complain because this quid kind of fucks your team in a game that is not looking good, but it's not lost either. So yeah, and if people complain about that, I can understand that. Cannot. I think it doesn't matter if you give the base or not at 30 seconds before a game ends, but I think it doesn't matter when you leave in this kind of game state. So meanwhile, with total air domination for the top side, Auron spamming aircraft carrier. Not too bad either, because I mean this is still a rather cheap unit with great radar and stuff like this. I mean, I really like this cruiser, and I always entice them to get aircraft carriers later on instead of cruisers. However, HZH is not very impressed and just keeps pushing, which is exactly what you should do. Dragon trying to help the torps, but of course, I mean, this is a couple of cruisers, just one shield though, an aircraft carrier which will get an insane amount of kills now. So I do not think this force will be stopped. Over here, there is a battle cruiser for me. It's already 66 kills, and there are battleships. And a lot of destroyer. And all this map still going on. What I see, HZH would probably beat this navy twice. Played a pretty good game. Dragon taking a nap here, not killing the gunships. Of course, given that Ionic quit, there was the air production lost for so long time, and also, I mean, it always takes time to like get the setting up again. You get a new base, you need to get everything going. So maybe Dragon would not be able to spam torps like she does. I mean, she put all her factories on torps, and doesn't have to build ASF because there is no air production from the other players. So yeah, it was not a nice move. He put well, if there was a slight chance for his team to win, he took it away. So over here, H stage still not giving up, and actually, and now the game desyncs. I don't know. I think Furbo left now. Actually, I think we play on for a little more, and H actually wins this navy despite the permanent top bombardment. But I mean, this is already a very nice production he has up. But eventually he will die here. Yeah. This game is desync now, and it's over. I think he throws in the towel too. This is what games can look like too. I hope you enjoyed watching.